This is why Darth Vader never found Obi Wan Kenobi. When the Jedi Order fell due to some over-enraged youngling murderer and an old fart that somehow managed to take on 4 Jedi Masters with ease, the Jedi were marked as traitors and were to be hunted down and executed. Yet, one of their most powerful, Obi Wan Kenobi, somehow survived and was left seemingly all alone on Tatooine. And this has caused many fans to wonder why Darth Vader, if he was so obsessed with hunting down and destroying his old war crime buddy, old Ben, he never actually found him. I mean, it's not like the name Obi Wan Kenobi was super popular.
Hello there.
And while many can write this off as not important and something only a nerd would do, well, joke's on them, I am a nerd. So to fully understand why Darth Vader never found Obi-Wan on Tatooine, we have 4 answers for this, each one being more important than the last. So make sure to stick around to see the most important reason as to why this is. So without further ado, number 1. And the first reason is actually because Tatooine was pretty far away from the Empire. And yes, while we did see them in several comics, a few shows, and in the movies on the Sand Planet, their impact and significance was not nearly as profound as many fans are to believe. As Obi-Wan and Luke Skywalker said themselves,
"You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy."
Yeah, this place wasn't your dream home. However, while the Empire may not have had a claim to this desert wasteland, somebody else did, the Hutt cartel. This played into why the Empire wasn't really all that productive on the planet. The Empire really just didn't want to screw around with a fat slug. In all seriousness though, this planet was largely controlled by the Hutts and other crime syndicates like the Pike. And this was felt throughout the entire planet. And it made it so the Empire had really no reason to stick around there or set up shop, as it would only cause trouble. Furthermore, since it was so far away in the Outer Rim, the Empire really didn't want to waste resources on a planet that wouldn't significantly benefit them. And speaking of benefiting, this is just a friendly reminder that the channel would really benefit from your support. Whether that be a like, a subscribe, or even just a comment, it helps the channel out a ton. Now, back to the video. The second reason is due to the fact that Obi-Wan rarely used the Force at all. Let me explain. So when a Force wielder like a Jedi or Sith uses the Force, it is often felt throughout the galaxy by fellow and powerful Force wielders. It leaves a trail, if you will.
Their compassion leaves a trail.
This is one of the main reasons the Jedi were hunted down so easily in the early days of the Empire. Vader and Palpatine were simply just tapping into the Force Wi-Fi and tracking them down. Eventually though, surviving Jedi would learn and adapt to not use the Force unless absolutely necessary. And Obi-Wan would take this lesson to heart and would never use the Force on that planet unless he absolutely had to. And this meant the Empire had no trail to go off of to even begin the hunt. So instead, the Empire would just sit around and entertain themselves with simple little massacres. Oh, the good old times. Speaking of good times, reason number 3 is that Vader had very few of them on Tatooine. Instead, he had mostly traumatic events happen to him while on that planet.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
And not even to mention the sand. But no, Vader himself never wanted to go to that forsaken planet as he feared it could cause a reemergence of Anakin Skywalker due to the past memories he had there, mainly his mother and meeting Padme. He feared that it could plant the seeds of him returning to the light. This is why when the droids fell down to Tatooine, Vader himself never stepped foot down there. Instead, he sent his stormtroopers to do all of the work for him. Although he did personally watch the execution of Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. And finally, and most importantly, the final reason Darth Vader never found Obi-Wan on Tatooine was because Obi-Wan chose the planet for a very specific reason, and it also happens to be the same reason Yoda chose Dagobah. This is because the planet had a natural potency for the dark side. Let me explain. Yoda chose Dagobah because it had such a powerful dark side nexus that it completely masked his light side persona. That, and it's probably the only environment the frog could fit in with. But for Tatooine, while its dark side nexus was a lot less powerful than Dagobah's, it did fit Obi-Wan rather well, as he wasn't nearly as powerful as Yoda. But it was enough where he could not be sensed. In case you are wondering why Tatooine has such a powerful dark side presence, it's actually not entirely due to the Hutt cartel or the criminal syndicates there. It's because Tatooine was not always a desert planet. Instead, it once had lush forests and jungles with vast oceans. But the Rakatan Infinite Empire kind of crystallized everything and made it into what it is now. But before we go any further, I know some of you are going to comment how Darth Vader did find Obi Wan when Obi Wan went off to save Princess Leia in the Kenobi show. But I'm not talking about that here. Instead, I'm only referring to why he was never found on Tatooine. So yeah, pretty shocking, right? But you know what's even more shocking? Palpatine's reaction to the Death Star's destruction, which is available for you guys to watch right now on the screen. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe as it helps the channel out a ton. And with that, my fellow Star Wars nerds, may the Force be with you.